What's up, guys? It's your girl Matt Cox from Maccouture Crafting. We are here with another video. If you have been rolling with me, you already know tons of videos today, tons of intros today. Which one is this? This is ridiculous. I don't even know which one we're doing right now. Let's do the Christmas quilt. Okay, you guys, when I saw this fabric, it's not going to make sense to anybody else, but to me, I saw it and was like, I'm going to do my holiday quilt. These are going to be my holiday colors. I don't know. The fabric is just brilliant in color. It's just a really, really, really awesome line. I love that it's by Michael Miller. I'm a fan of Michael Miller. I wish I worked for Michael Miller. I wish I worked with them. They have a line called Cotton Couture, and it seems like MA Couture Crafting should be working with them, right? Like it doesn't it? It feels right. Loved it from the moment that I saw it. Glenda from Quilting with Soul, you guys know that I've done collaborations with them in the past. They actually um, posted a picture on their Facebook and they were like, this fabric just came in. So I Googled what the fabric was and was like, yeah, I'm going to need some of that. So I ran down to San Diego so that I could literally pick some up so that I could start on my Christmas projects. And I'm doing everything this year in those colors with that fabric. So all the ornaments that I'm going to be showing you guys, my Christmas quilt and my wreath this year are all out of this specific fabric. So yeah, it's going to be weird, but it's my vision. It's how I saw it. 3-yard quilts. You guys love 3-yard quilts. I love them. You love them. When you see some of the patterns, they are very, very, very simple. And I feel like those simple ones are the ones that are crying for you to do some applique work. So that's exactly what I did. I forced my I forced my fabric to be holiday fabric, and I did that by forcing it into applique shapes that are holiday shapes. So I use this pattern right here, Brick Street. The fabric that I bought is directional. It is, let's see, why is it not doing the things? Let's try this. Let's do this. There we go. There we go. So the fabric that I bought, there were some women that were carrying baskets on their heads, and I knew that I wanted them to go this way, this direction. Excuse me. So I put it in this block, and then I knew here I wanted the applique to shine. I knew the colors that I wanted. This when I saw this, I was like, yep, this will work. It works perfectly. When I tell you guys, this quilt took me maybe 2 hours to make, and that's including the cutting, not the applique. If you are taking it to your long armor, my long armor is okay with me pressing the applique down and then letting her do her thing. Not every long armor is cool with that, and I'm not saying that's the best way, but if you're trying to do something fast, it's going to get sewn down. And if you're fusing stuff properly, it's not going to come up. But I went ahead and sewed all this down, and that did take me probably another hour to do. They really weren't difficult, maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours just to sew down the applique. But to do this quilt without the applique or to do it with the applique just fused, you're looking at like 3 hours for a quilt top. It's fast. I mean, fast. I love the way that she does her quilt patterns. I love it. So I'm going to show you guys what this looks like. And yeah, if you want a super duper duper fast holiday quilt, and you want to play with some applique, this is definitely one of the ways to go. I loved it. I think you will love it. It's fast. I cannot tell you guys how fast this quilt goes. Um, I can't think of anything else for this quilt right off the top of my head. I'm thinking I'm trying to think what else you could do with it. Capes look good and stuff like this. Capes and Tula Pink with those big, huge motifs. Because sometimes people are like, what am I supposed to do with this motif? Something else I might do is do this same quilt with solids. I've got a quilt pattern that I really want to sing. And so I might give them some negative space to work with. We'll see. But again, guys, I can't tell you enough. This Brick Street pattern is screaming applique me or throw a big flower or a big print in these blocks and just let them sing. Let them do their thing. All right, if you want to see how my holiday quilt comes together, and I think you should because it's really stunning. It's really a sock you in your face like, is that a Christmas quilt? Is it African? I don't even like African fabrics. That's not a secret. Everybody knows I am not a big African print, African fabrics girl. I'm learning to be that person. But this quilt, guys, is stunning in person. It's the kind that you walk by and you're like, wait, what? Those colors. Oh my gosh. And so I think you guys should be hitting up Quilting with Soul and asking her to do a kit for you guys. I'm just saying it would be awesome. And I think I used less than a yard to cut the shapes out. Uh, I used my Cricut to cut out the shapes. You do not need to do that. I took the shapes from Google. I Googled ornaments. You take it, you trace it on your fabric, and you cut it out after it's been fused to like Wonder Under or something like that. That is how you do it if you don't have a Cricut. If you have a Cricut, fuse it, iron on the double-sided fusible, going ahead, put it in your machine, have it cut it out, then iron it down. It's not hard, it's not difficult, and it's very fast again. So you guys, if you want to see how my Christmas quilt came together and you guys want to try it, keep watching. All right, bye-bye.
So this is the super duper, super fast, easy quilt, all finished. Let's get into it. So because this is not my pattern, I will not be giving any of the dimensions, but this is super duper easy to follow. You're just going to cut your strips out according to the instructions. I think this is one of those quilts that you can purchase outside of the book. Matter of fact, I'm positive it is. And let's get into it. So there's one or two larger strips, and they have you do partial strips too because you don't need the whole piece. They really maximize your usage of the 3 yards. But at the same time, you need to really follow the instructions because you only have 3 yards. You don't have a lot of fabric to mess up. So if you are straightening up your edges like I'm doing right now, you need to really take just a hair off. You want to make sure that you line it up the best you can because you don't have a ton of fabric to fudge. This fabric is directional. Luckily, it all works out. If it was going the other direction, I might have had some issues with the way that it comes together. I'm using this red. I feel like it's a poinsettia, and it feels very holiday to me. Had I have found a snowflake, I would have rather have used that because I feel like a snowflake is really on the money. And this right here, this blue, it's just a nice, beautiful, swirly kind of, it's not a solid, but it reads as a solid. And those are the colors that I've chosen for this super duper easy quilt. Okay, so the first thing you do is pull out your strips, and then you're just gonna run a seam down the sides. This is not a difficult quilt. You're gonna put that right sides together, bam, and sew down. I like to sew down leaving the selvage. Make sure you line up all the selvage on one side for sure. And then I just trim off the selvage, but just the bare minimum, just a touch, because again, you do not have any fabric to fudge. You can see on the right hand side everything is lined up, so you're gonna have to pick a side to line everything up and then just cut. You really should start cutting from that direction, but of course I made it, thank goodness. And then you just start cutting this down to size after you've done sewn the strips together. And this is the quilt, that block, and then it repeats. So let's go on ahead and do the applique. And for this, I use my Cricut to cut out some ornament shapes out of the mask fabric. It's fused to fusible web Wonder Under on the back. So all I do is peel off the paper, stick it down, and then iron it. I'm checking placement right now to make sure that I have done this properly. And it looks as if I have. My main concern was that the ornaments don't appear to be floating from the top. I wanted to be sure that I caught the top of the ornament in the seam, or make sure that it's at least touching the seam. So I needed to be sure that I was sticking to 1/4 of an inch on those blocks. And I needed to make sure that I was placing these ornaments down so that they were either just over the 1/4 inch or like totally caught in the seam or just butted up right against it. So I did a lot of fidgeting, and then I decided that I really did need to mark that because that was important to me, that they not just be floating. I of course could have made the stems longer, but how I saw it going and how I worked it out. So I'm going to use a hair marker. And all that is like a bone folder. It doesn't actually leave a like a chalk behind. You're just making an indentation in the fabric with this. And if you rub it as much as I do, you actually will start messing with the threads, and then you will actually see it. You see how you see that? I did it a few too many times. You really only need to run it one time. And you'll see the indentation, and I'm marking 1/4 inch so that I can put the applique on. So I took the paper off the back of the applique, laid it down, and fused it with my iron, making sure that it was sitting in between the 1/4 inch. I wanted to make sure that it wasn't getting caught in the bottom. I wanted it to hang, but I definitely didn't want it caught in the bottom. And that's the end of this quilt. Super duper duper simple. It's got some borders that go on it. This is the first border. Actually, this is the first and the second border. The first border is a super thin red. And make sure that all of my blocks are right side up. Then we put on that third border, and that's the quilt. Voila! Super duper simple, very, very easy. Let me know if you guys try this. And because it's the holiday season, of course, I took it to Disney because on the back is a Black Santa, so I wanted to take a picture with Black Santa. And now you guys can enjoy the holidays with me at Disney. I will catch you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.
Snow is set to fall today. It comes to say that Christmas is on its merry